pretty close, and Toffoli is like their dad. And they said that Toph had to sleep over because Mac and Will share a room, and obviously Toph, as a veteran, gets his own room. So, they said if someone gets a hat trick, we have to have a sleepover. Or if all of them scored, I can't remember exactly, but Toph scored an empty net, and it was like 5-2, we win, and the bench goes like nuts. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, we have a potential playoff spot? Like, what was that? And it didn't really register. And then, I think I heard the next morning what the bet was, or that night on the plane, that Toph had to sleep over. And he did do it. They got it caught, and they had to sleep over. So, we have a really good group, and I think Mac and Will set the tone for that. And Toph is obviously a veteran guy that kind of helps them along a little bit, but a lot of fun. You guys coach the young guys, and again, I went through the American League, but 18 and 19-year-olds, they're very mature, but they also have some immature habits. And it's even for myself, I'm still learning. I'll tell you a quick story when we get this set up. My office is right outside the dressing room. We got a ping pong table. So one day it's 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'm in my office, and I hear like screaming and yelling, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I open the locker room, and Mac and Will each have their shirt off, and they're playing ping pong, but they play it, it's called whack ball. Then if you make a mistake, you got to whack the guy in the back. So Mac has welts on his back, Will has welts, and that was the first time, I think it was like early November, and I'm like, oh my God, these guys are 18 years old. But they're very mature when it comes to hockey and being coachable and all that, but that was the first time I'm like, oh my God, either I'm getting older, time to change, but we got it going.
Got all kinds of them. You had a great path to the NHL. What strengths do you what strengths do you feel helped set you apart on that journey?
Well, one, I've learned from some really good coaches. Anywhere I've gone, I've from Spencer to Newsy to Mike Bellucci to Sully, got to know Torts over the years. So I've learned from some really, really good coaches. I feel like communication and the care for the player, I would say the care for the human being before the player is the most important thing. I think once they know you care about them, you can push them in different ways. So I think that's helped me. I think too is in talking to some other young coaches and going through, because again, I know I've had this quick rise, but when someone is talking to you, whether it's one of you guys I'll try to learn from, or a player, or a basketball coach, or Blash, or News, I think it's important to take it in what they're saying. And I think that's a big problem in the world today is we take the advice, but we don't use it. There's a difference between listening and hearing and understanding what the person is saying. So, I remember at the end of my first year in South Carolina with Spence, I go, Spence, hey, how can I get better? He's like, hey, you did a great job. What I thought was really awesome what you did, I probably asked, 1,000 questions a day. And I would take a journal, I would write down everything we did that day, from day one to the end of the season. Who we met with, what the meeting was like. So I would kind of learn through that. I'd look back at that journal and try to pick up some things, but ask questions. And don't be afraid to ask questions. But I think when you ask those questions, don't just look for the answer. Take the answer and be like, oh, that makes sense, and understand it and then use it. So I just think that's something that's really helped me.
Oh, I think we might have the right dongle.
There it is.
You have to call your GM.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Good round of applause for her. She figured it out. And thanks for Newsy for helping me. I'll zip through this. I know sorry for the technical difficulties. That's never happened before. And I guess that's why I got to. Blash just told me Coop brings his video coach.